Now we are now live though, so I'm gonna kick off the introduction. Hello everyone, this is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and this is now our second dev team call. We have a solid representation from the REtoken team here. And I'm super excited about Dax stepping up. DeSign wasn't feeling well, and Dax is going to be emceeing here. Dax has been absolutely fabulous for all that he's contributed. He regularly shows up and participates to a good majority of the activities and the events going on. And the thing that really I was the most impressed about was when Dax took the initiative, saw the need and the opportunity, took the initiative to get the bankless degen bot configured and online. And that's one of the things that I'm really excited. The REtoken team working with the bankless and the degen team over there, because we do our events here at REtoken very differently. Like right now, we are live streaming. We're on a Zoom. We invite people to join us through this process. I mean, we're all learning here together. This DAO business that we're operating, the vehicle for the decentralized autonomous organization that we're building together here is, and we're all learning. I mean, a good portion of the people were on the Decentralized Governance Hackathon that we've laid some of the foundation. And here in December, we're doing the REtoken relaunch month. And one of the tools that we're looking at is Coordinate. And on that note, I'm going to navigate over to the dev team on Coordinate. Yield the mic to you, Dax. Over to you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. And thank you, everyone, for being here today for the DAO relaunch team working group today. This is our second meet, and you guys are fabulous. And look at this thing. What today on Saturday afternoon, based on where you're located, either it's AM or PM or in the evening, you care about it. You care to being here and participate in this meeting. So that means it goes to show that we are a solid team, and we are all trying to work towards a common goal, which is creating the real estate tokenization for everyone. So with that being said, and I'm thank you for everyone, and Jason and the Design. Unfortunately, Design is not feeling well today, so I'm going to try to fill in just for today. So I wish him well for his speedy recovery. And he actually provided an update for the team. So I'm gonna start with that, and then we're gonna dive into the agenda on the cards. So Jason, just to bear with me, I'm gonna get to the coordinate, and before that, I like to give an update. From Design. He had said he began to look at some of the solutions for automating the event setup, Jason, that you were asking about. That that's one of the pain points that you had mentioned in the past. That having to create Trello card all the way to the YouTube and setting up the whole thing. So I think you asked for some sort of script or something like that. You just need to input some certain parameters that would go off and create this for automatically. So anyways, so he is looking into several solutions for it, and then and then the second thing he wanted us to let everybody know that this is about the website REtoken.info or whatever the the domain that we are looking at right now. So we all need to decide and come up with what would be the high level kind of pages, or how do we look like, how do the site is going to look like. For example, we could just come up with a simple site map in the sense, okay, this is home page, or something like that, or is it going to be like a one-stop shop for a directory kind of a thing, like a repository? You can just type in certain things. Hey, I want to go to a Zoom link or events or something like that. it will, look and search the and pull up the current events, and then it'll link to the Discord website, Discord event link, or whatever, the Zoom link, whatever, or it could be the Google calendar link, whatever it might be. So we need to just kind of like get together and come up with a list of things that we would like to see it on our website. So that's the one of the things that you would like to focus on, and you were trying to do that. So that's the update from Design. Now we are going to get into the coordinate side. Jason, if you can open up the coordinate. So as you all know, coordinate is kind of like our I-Fi. I call them I-Fi. Tool that, if somebody participated, in this team, if you think somebody, did a good job, or participated and added value to the, contributed to the team or any work, you go ahead and, set up your epic, as Jason is putting right now. You can see, likewise, you can, jot your own, what you've accomplished or you're trying to accomplish, and then, save that, and then go to the next page, and then you could go ahead and allocate, give tokens. See, already Jason has 80 tokens remaining left to allocate. So he's going to go ahead and allocate some give tokens. So likewise, you could do that as well, because tomorrow, I think, Jason, please correct me if I'm wrong, tomorrow at 10 p.m. EST, this epic will, epic will end. And then the next, following day, we will be going to the, brand new one. So please, take your time, and if you have any questions, ask Jason or myself, or anyone of, from our team. We will be able to help you out. Please participate and help us out on this thing. I'm going to pause at this point, at this moment, and and open up the floor for any questions or any comments or anything. Yep.
Real quick,
are we gonna? Oh, go ahead, Jason.
I saw that you weren't an admin on here, Dax, so I got that updated so that you can admin the dev team here. And then also looking through the list, this is something that we need to make sure that we have the right people represented, because like right now we have Ernest on here. I don't think that we have him in the coordinate circle. Also, Ryan is here. So if you all are actively planning on allocating gives, and that's the people that I just mentioned, Ernest and Ryan, catch up with Dax so that he can get you added. And going back to the calendar, we have a deeper dive scheduled for Sunday, where we're going to be making sure, because the epoch, for this first round, and this is functionally the first time that the dev team will be having the coordinate circle, which I believe it's the very first epoch over here too. So this is literally epoch 1, which corresponds to round 1-2, because this is the second, and we're doing grouping 4 epochs into this initial implementation. So 4 weeks, and we're doing weekly epochs, and we'll see if that makes sense. That's something, from my understanding from other DAOs that are using Coordinate, most don't do that. But I think the way that we are structuring, a longer story why, probably talk about that on Sunday. So I think that was a great, and I was trying to show like some best practices. I'll talk a little bit more about that here. Like for those that saw when Dax was speaking, I allocated Dax some gives there saying thank you for leading the dev team. And this is one of the opportunities too, that you can do, like whenever you see somebody doing going out of their way, because that's one of the opportunities that we have here, is to thank and praise our teammates when they're doing the right things to help our DAO move in the right direction. So I know that you were chiming in on something there, Tyler. So sorry for cutting you off, but over to you.
Oh, thanks. Dex, just a quick question, or for the whole team. When you mentioned the website earlier, was that something that you were just mentioning as an action item for later, or is that something that we need to start brainstorming about for this meeting?
Let's go back. Let's go back to that. Let's finish on coordinate before we go back, because that's something we're going to talk more about on the agenda.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay,
thank you,
got it.
Taylor, for asking for that question. It's a good question. Yes, that is part of the agenda for today. So yeah, we will be talking about it. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, as Jason pointed out, so coordinate is as I mentioned earlier, this is like a weekly iteration. So every week is we will be spinning up a new epoch. So, Jason pointed out it's the second epoch. We are in the second week. So beginning, I don't know exact timings, the cutoff happens. So Jason, please, if you can chime in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 10 a.m. UTC on Monday morning, which I think translates to 4 a.m. Eastern time. So the thought on that is to give people ample opportunity on Sunday, because what happens is, and this will go more into the coordinate, but yeah, you've got until, I think it's 2 a.m. Western time, 4 a.m. and that's Monday morning. So you've got all day Sunday, all evening Sunday. And if you are a procrastinator, you've got until like literally after midnight Monday morning. Technically it's 10 a.m. to allocate the gives, and it'll become more, and we'll talk more about that during the coordinate end of week sync, which we have on the REtoken Google Calendar, which we have linked all over the Discord. We also have it on our Getbook How to Participate page. So lots of opportunities as far as finding out what is going on. So on our Getbook How to Participate, we've got the link to the calendar. So, but anyway, and one of the things too, going to try to encourage people here during the Zoom is using like the little hand raise thing so that we can keep on. I think that we've talked about coordinate and with the opportunity to catch up. And like Dax said, feel free to reach out to us. As far as we're all very helpful. We know that this is a new tool. It's very different of tools as far as the way that you see things. But anyway, going back to the agenda, Tyler had a good question as far as the WordPress, our website. This has been an opportunity. All of us know that we need to improve our website. And when I'm talking about our website, it's retoken.info is our current website, and put forward the opportunity here during REtoken relaunch. And I'll yield the mic back to you as far as this, some of the ideas that we talked a little bit about, this RET.team. And I think the biggest thing is just figuring out if that's a pretty binary decision. I don't know if somebody's emotionally attached to the website that we have, but I think that this is something that we could work and get online pretty quickly. But over to you, Dax.
Great. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Again, guys, as Jason pointed out, we are, we are in the relaunch phase of REtoken, right? So one of the part of the initiative is to kind of like a relaunch our website itself. Rebrand, not a rebrand, relaunch. We are still having same name and everything. So one of the things that Jason already, he did a fantastic job, that he grabbed a team domain for us, REtoken. So the idea here is, again, it's just to open for the discussion, is to kind of like, allocate, like, I don't know, if you look at, there are several domains, they have like a personalized page, that would be like your name, dot, whatever the website, and then dot, the domain name, right? So it's kind of similar to this thing. So in this case, Jason gave us an example, yanks.ret.team. So, all the ambassadors or any one of the team member could get that page, and then they could, have, their own content. Jason likes to, write things on the fly. So you could create a blog on the fly, or you could just, input like a Twitter, post, or whatever it might be. And then you will be like, putting more content to it. So that would be kind of like when he goes and talks to somebody else, hey, how would I like to go about joining your team? You talked about so much, and Jason will say, what, go to yanks.red.team, and then that is going to be like your landing page for the newcomers. And then from there, they will be able to look at all the content. If they'd like to, go and join Discord, there will be a link for it, or Trello card, however they, the person would like to customize it. And, they will have all the content in there, one place. That would be the landing page for that. And one of the things that, we are proposing is to, if somebody brings in a brand new member, and introduce them, to the team, that, they would get like a bonus, 10 REtokens for that. And then eventually that person joined and they introduce themselves and part of the team, that would be, another 10, bonus token for that, REtokens. So, that's the kind of like a high level idea there. One of the things that, if you look at the Trello card, there is another thing, it's called blog.red.team. There anyone could, contribute content to the, team. It's about either real estate or, tokenization or anything that we might, whatever we come up with, we could do that. So I am going to pass that, and especially we will be doing that in the WordPress multi-site. The WordPress will be our platform that we will be doing that. Apparently, Jason already did research on it, and then there are two ways to go about doing that. One is like or like you pointed out, the yanks.red.team. I think another one Jason mentioned that we could do that like red.team slash slash Youngs or slash Ryan or slash Crest or somebody, something like that. We could do that too. So yeah, I think I'm going to pass right there. And if anyone likes to, anyone would like to chime in or any comments or questions, please, it's all yours. I'm going to open the floor for a debate or conversation.
Hey, Doc, what is dot or slash better for SEO for the whole site? Does it matter?
No. The good, I think, we the answer to your question is we need to look at the SEO, friendly URL. That's what, I think we should be looking at, whatever the Google that, we are trying to, obviously we want to rank up, when you do a Google search or something like that, we should be able to, rank up at the high level. So whatever the SEO likes, that's what we should be, gearing towards. That's what we should be designing. That's what I'm thinking. But again, Jason, do you have any?
Just had and this is something I need to get better at, finding a hotkey to Zoom, but that mental note for myself. So the main difference from what I understand is a subdomain has more opportunity from a scalability standpoint, and the subdomain is the one that's like blog.ret.team. This one here is a subfolder, and all of the content that would get created in a subfolder mechanism would juice the SEO for ret.team. But I think that's also has more, it doesn't scale as well. And like the opportunity for niching down, I think that the better implementation of the WordPress multi-site is the subdomain. And then, we can just be intentional about that. And I think it's just so it's something that we can change, but it's not something that we really want to we need to really make a decision and get that locked in. I'm more of a fan of subdomains based upon my understanding of scalability, but it is also, that each subdomain gets treated from an SEO standpoint like a blank slate, if that makes sense. So like any SEO juice from yonks.ret.team doesn't benefit amy.ret.team. And these are just some examples, not necessarily like Amy may have no desire or intention of having her own landing page. This was just putting it out there so that you could see some examples besides just myself. I do want to become a more prolific content creator, which is one of the reasons that I was asking somebody else to lead the core team so that I could focus here during this REtoken relaunch and lead the content team. Because I have regularly said and will continue to say that I do look at REtoken as a content DAO. Some people in the space may call it a media DAO, and that's largely evidenced. I mean, like right now, we're all hanging out, facilitating our dev team call via a Zoom live stream, and that is getting broadcast out to multiple channels. So the sooner that we get something in place, because really we should have like an event, a page for each event, because like one of the things, like going over here, I'm going to bring in the YouTube for today, like show me more. So look here. So all of these links that are on the description for today's YouTube functionally creates a backlinking strategy. So even our snapshot proposals, and this is just kind of like some hidden gems for our backlinking strategy. Like we have Ernest, and thank you again for all that you're contributing here in our community, Ernest. He got recognized as new community member of the week. This is week 50, so Ernest is very new to our community. I haven't even done the airdrop for this, but here is the snapshot. And what I was wanting to talk about was the backlink. So like this snapshot proposal has backlinks in it. Well, this one doesn't have as many in it. Let me go to the Treasury distribution proposal. So this is the one that we do for itemizing what goes out of the Treasury at REtoken on a weekly basis. And for people that do or do not know, so like watch the live stream replay. I have a backlink here to our 4 different channels that the live stream went to. And imagine how fabulous that would be if we had a backlink to our own website, so that anytime that we did a snapshot proposal, that would be a component of our backlinking strategy. And for those that may or may not know, the better that we do intertwining the links, the more that Google's like, hey, they got their shit together. This is some valuable content. We're going to bump them up on the search engine result pages. So that's kind of just a little thing to kind of keep in mind, just from the content lens that we all should be operating in. Because the better that we do, because the goal is like we went through this exercise with our light paper. And one of the things that we added to that last minute was real estate added investing. Because one of the things that became apparent to me, that's something that people are regularly searching for, real estate investing. More people want to know how to invest in real estate. And that's one of the things that we want to deliver. Want to bring it back to the conversation, because I was going off on a tangent there. So getting back over here, on that. And again, this is kind of like, I identified this here too, via the next actions, because it would be really easy for us to get this new domain set up and online. I think that that's something that, we could do very quickly. And I actually have this as a scheduled time to install WordPress multi-site, because the beautiful thing about where we're operating today is that we don't have to go through some big process or big conversation. I mean, like if we wanted to commit to have RET.team online, that's something that we could probably have online by the core team call tomorrow if we wanted to commit to delivering that. So that's also the opportunity that we have to be nimble, is that like again, the site, especially when we're talking about a new domain, it's not like we even have to have a migration strategy to migrate from the existing domain, because we haven't started creating any content. So there's no content that exists on retoken.info that we need to think about migrating. So this is a great opportunity to lean into this team component, and from a branding strategy and stuff like that, So I'm going to yield the mic here for everybody to chime in some thoughts as far as this RET.team. And I'm going to, while I go on mute, I'm going to go show the voting proposals, where this one specifically, and I would love to see some numbers go up on this. This is something that we're also going to go down the official snapshot proposal process with. But again, the opportunity for us to be nimble and get this online. I mean, this domain, to put a number behind it, how much was this domain, Tyler?
It was under, I think it was like $37 or something like that. Wasn't very much.
Yeah, so like $40 a year. So it's almost like not even a consideration from a financial cost. Now, this other one that we'll talk about here, that one's a more of a financial cost, but we won't talk about that. Wanting to hear some thoughts on this RET.team.
Hey, would really love to hear from Amy, Crush, Ernest, and Ryan if you guys have any thoughts on this stuff.
Yeah, I like it. Again, like I'm not dev, but I do find that, listening to devs and dev meetings, you learn quite a bit about the operations of, DAOs in particular. So yeah, I'm just kind of listening, and, when the devs have things to test or want like a user experience kind of testing, I'm happy to help with that.
Well, you do a good amount of stuff on YouTube, and I would absolutely put you in a content creator category. Going back to this idea of this ambassador type of a subdomain, is that something that you would personally be interested in contributing to if you had your own subdomain?
I think I would try contributing more to the team documents that are already there than maybe running my own subdomain. That's just me personally. I generally am creating content just to test features for, different applications as much as possible. That's why I like the Bankless DAO, because like they already create content, so I can just use their content to test things. And, that's why I love you all, because you all already create your own content. So I personally wouldn't need my own thing, but I could see how someone like yourself, who does create a lot of content, this makes it easy for me to support your page. And, if it works out for you. So I do like this structure, and I am still learning quite a bit about just using GitHub and, now Gitbook. So I do, it makes sense, how I see people using it. And yeah, finally aping into GitHub and Gitcoin and Gitbook.
We should be able to, and yeah, I agree. I probably don't want my own subdomain either. I would like to be able to contribute. We could always start off with, Jason, you can have your own because you're just pushing stuff out all day, and the rest of us could all contribute to team.ret.team. That's not the right domain, but something like group or leaders or family or whatever. We could either make it all on one. So if you want to contribute something, a couple times a month, or write a blog when you feel like it, or you just wanted to kind of put it into the flow, that might work. If somebody really emerges as a content creator that wasn't on the list originally, we could just separate out that person, and then the rest of us wouldn't be like, oh my God, I've got my own page, it's got 2 things on it in 6 months, and that just doesn't look right. So we've got a lot of flexibility here on that.
Yeah, and the other thing too with the subdomain idea is it's not necessarily has to be somebody that is going to be intentional about creating content. That's also where it could be potentially just like a static landing page, like Rosetta has been increasingly expressing interest in the ambassadors program, and the opportunity for her to add some of her own personal flair as far as, because one of the expectations that I have as an ambassador is that, going to be actively telling or inviting other people to come. So the opportunity for us to add some special, where people can have their own personality and invite people to their own like landing page is what it's commonly referred to in the website lingo. So it doesn't necessarily have to be where somebody is proactively creating content to get value out of a subdomain, but like for an ambassador that's actively telling other people, the opportunity to have your own like landing page where you can use that to invite people instead of just like inviting them using some Discord link. You could say, hey, here's my own landing page for this. This is how much value that this community puts behind me, So that's just kind of a thought too. It doesn't necessarily have to be where somebody's actively contributing content, but like that could be
that makes sense.
when they, Okay, so
right,
thanks.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, cool. Amy, Crush, Ryan, that's you guys.
Yeah,
I like I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Crush. Is that Crush? I'll do.
Okay, I like the idea. I think that's kind of cool to have your own, to be able to have your own like personal touch on the page. And I don't know that I would use it right away, like my own, but I think that like for in the future, it would be nice to have.
Awesome. Amy, what were you going to say?
Has anybody done one so we can see what it looks like? Just for a info kind of thing.
Not yet, but
we don't. We can throw up a test page. The big question was, are you guys okay with us turning retoken.info into a redirect to ret.team and then just making ret.team the main page with all the backlinks in it moving forward? We didn't want to start building anything. If you guys are like, no, I hate that domain, doesn't make sense, we love retoken.info, or they both don't make sense, get something else. So that was the driver on that.
To be, if you are branding and you took out the word retoken, that is really confusing. That's just on my part. If I am promoting it as a retoken and people try to Google you and it changed to a different word, you may have a problem people finding you. That's all I have to say. I mean, if that branding is just for us and we know that we're the only one who's going to use it, that's fine. But if you are putting it out there, I think it's best that when you're branding, you build from what you already have, not unless you run into some copyright issues or something like that. But
and to be clear, we're not talking about migrating away from REtoken from a branding strategy. I mean, we're still going to be REtoken, the real estate DAO. This is just a subdomain that is very short, that makes it easier for because when looking at REtoken, and that's like when you think of RET, just think of it as real estate token. So it's just like a full truncation of that. And we will absolutely lean very heavily into the search engine optimization from a strategy and implementation of our WordPress to make sure that whenever somebody searches for keywords of interest, because the opportunity to start creating content, because like right now, we don't have any content on retoken.info. It's not been something that we have been intentional about. And now that we are getting more team differentiation within REtoken, the opportunity to be more intentional about creating content. And as far as like a migration strategy, that's not something that we need to finalize on. I mean, and that's, again, the great thing about where we're at, just from a what we have in place. Like, we don't have content that we need to incorporate into a migration strategy. And with this being a new domain, we can go through and set up and like let everybody see what that looks like. But we've spoken about this. We'll touch again on it during the core team. The immediate opportunity is to go vote on the sesh poll in the voting proposals right now, if this is something that you're excited about. And like I said, it's a pretty easy decision in my opinion, because the domain cost is only $40. And one of the things that we will talk about, not today because we are only have 10 minutes left, but like how that we will work more on decentralizing, like, because right now we, Tyler and I, are utilizing domain hosting services that we utilize for hosting multiple other websites. So the opportunity for that to be like completely under REtoken's control, that's an opportunity that we have. It's not necessarily something that we need to go in the weeds on today, but it's something that we can talk about as far as like really having all of this be fully controlled by REtoken, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Jason. I think we are up to the we are actually exhausted on the thing, so we need to move on to the next item on our agenda, which is RET.ETH.
And on this one, I don't have enough details yet on the proposal. This is just, again, something that kind of putting out there for people to think about. We do have, like, Mrs. Yonks and I did acquire RET.ETH. And this is, again, one of the opportunities as far as some ideas that how this could be used. I had some side conversations with DSign about getting Superfluid. I also did with DAX. And that's something that we'll bring up tomorrow during the core team call. Real quick, and I think that I'll kick this to the agenda tomorrow, because this Discord poll for RET.team, we've got till the voting closes in a day. So I'll add this to the agenda tomorrow. And we can do because the bullet point here is scheduling time to install WordPress multi-site. So I'll put this on, move this, and this is one of the things just trying to get better at from a workflow standpoint, so that these bullet points don't get lost, is creating a Trello card for these guys specifically. So the Discord bots, one of the things that there was some side conversation with about is creating a mechanism like right now, we do a lot of live streams. That's the main way that we facilitate all of our events. I mean, we're on a live stream right now. So one of the ideas in an ongoing efforts to enhance the Discord experience, reduce the unnecessary notifications, create an environment where people can opt in, is that we had the idea of creating this new role called like live stream alerts or live stream notifications. And then that's one of the things, like in Sesh, when we're scheduling an event, and let me just look at editing the one here for coordinate. So like right now on the notifications mentions, so right now we don't have a live stream role or a live stream alert. So this is an immediate opportunity that we have, but then there's also the opportunity to make it easier for people to opt into the Discord role. So that's an immediate opportunity. We've got Me6 already installed. We haven't paid for the premium access on that. That's something that I think going to go ahead and do. And then if that's not the right bot, we can transfer that premium subscription. Mrs. Yonks and I have other Discord servers that we run, so we can make good use of that if the DAO decides that there's a better bot to facilitate that. So just planting the seed, if you would like to, like doing the Discord stuff, the immediate need and opportunity is finding a bot. CarlBot is also widely utilized for that. And then the other opportunity from a Discord enhancement, we are getting increasingly better at using, as a team, using Trello. I've been showing you the agenda on the Trello card here. I'm going to zoom out, and this is something that we talked about during the ambassadors team, where and this is something that I'm very excited about. For those that didn't participate in our second ambassadors call, we just had that last night. Make sure to go back and rewatch this, because this is introducing some new workflow. And I'm working on refining that checklist right now. Like, I actually just did a introduction for somebody claiming this bounty for myself. We had Efosa come over from UMA Project, and again, working on refining and enhancing this. But the exciting thing about this is one of the things that we're wanting to do is to get REtoken into people that showed enough interest where they made an introduction. So we put forward, and this is something that I'm going to make a voting proposal specifically about this, talk about it tomorrow, but functionally putting it in place, and it'll be a work in progress. And then if we're like, man, this was a stupid idea, we need to scratch it, or hey, we had an influx of people and it cost us 10 gajillion REtoken or whatever, got to scrap that. So I don't think that that'll be the case, but this is like the nice thing about this, because at the front of the call, Dax was giving the recap on the events, and that's a huge pain point. And it, like to provide people a little insight as far as what that looks like from a pain point standpoint. And I'm going to make this bigger here so that everybody can see it a little bigger. So I've been getting better at creating some checklists to really capture the steps that are involved on creating the events. So here's I broke it down, because like so these were done already, but like looking at this, and this was one that I didn't even do a good enough job, because right now it's so painful. And this is, again, trying to get better at this, but I mean, it's a long list of checklists. So it's a more involved process. And the great thing about, like, when you're talking about creating some development workflow, like looking at this new workflow, because this introduction bounty onboarding quest, when you think about workflow, this is a new workflow. And like, we're the opportunity to, not disrupt what's working, even though it's somewhat painful right now. But then, as a lot of people know, we, the team, identified that our biggest opportunity and biggest need is to improve the onboarding experience, because we believe that providing a higher touch, and that's one of the things that we're going to do. But I'm going to stop talking here, let everybody chime in some thoughts on this introduction bounty onboarding quest, because that's really, like, I would like people to think about from a dev hat, how that this is something, we've got this new workflow, we identified it, how can we make this easy to get facilitated? And then the goal is to work towards a full-blown onboarding quest. And we didn't talk that much about unlock protocol, but like, one of the things, an opportunity that I would really like to see is come up, like, through this onboarding quest, the end goal would be somebody becoming a REtoken initiate, or whatever we would call that. And then they would have this like NFT, and maybe the end thing is they end up with 250 REtoken, and then they take that 250 REtoken and then they acquire this NFT that provides the same voting capability, but it's in the form of an NFT. It's like a little trophy for their NFT collection, something that we can do that's fun, rewarding, and then they get a nice NFT. And that's another opportunity with unlock protocol. I'm going on mute. Over to you.
I would like to volunteer to draw a WEN NFT hand drawn. I think that'd be nice.
Well, we will probably do, speaking of design stuff, put this forward. And I don't know if people have been keeping an eye on that, but that's something that we've been getting, and we'll talk about this. Dax was asking about extending the deadline. I don't think that that'll be a problem. Oh, I'm glad that I brought this up too, because the way that we're wanting to utilize this POAP design contest is that we're wanting to have this in a snapshot proposal, so that whenever we onboard people here during December, during this REtoken relaunch, we can create a special snapshot proposal on December 31st, so that whenever all of these new REtoken holders vote in this through the course of voting. So this is another opportunity from the dev team to put in place. And I'll create a dedicated thread for this, because we need to get figured out how to do this as far as the snapshot POAP plugin. got a little bit of experience where that was utilized in BitDAO, and loved collecting those. It was an absolute seamless process. But we have a POAP design contest, and then from a dev team, we have the obligation of implementing the POAP plugin into Snapshot. So we just need to figure out the implementation strategy. So putting this out there to Crush or whomever else wants to PM this initiative, this is absolutely something we're having somebody else to help foster all of these moving pieces, because haven't even had much. And this would be something that I think that we should potentially have like a breakout conversation as far as how to organize this design contest so that it goes off without a hook. So if you could, Tyler and Crush, help to drive that as far as having a breakout on that, and then make sure from a dev team that we put that into the pipeline for getting the POAP Snapshot plugin. I'm going to go back on mute right now.
Okay, well, I like the idea of an onboarding quest. And by the way, if we do 10 retokens for intros, right now we've got a little under 300 people in the server. If we had 10,000 people join the server and we gave, and every single one of them did an intro and we gave away 100,000 tokens, that's still only 1% of our inventory. So I think we're fine. I'm good with that. If we swell up to 10,000 people, that'd be a fun problem to have, and then we can figure that out.
Right. I thank you for putting the numbers into perspective so it's easy for people to say yes to.
Yeah,
Ryan,
thank you. Guys, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ryan, we haven't heard from you much on this call. Do you have anything to add, or ideas or questions or anything? Okay, well, he might be at work. I know you can't always talk when he's there. So okay, just want to make sure we got everybody. So back to you, Dex.
Well,
Yep,
real quick, go ahead, Dax. I just want to make sure that we get this next action scheduled, because like I said, that needs to happen. And we could take a quick look at that, but I know that you wanted to chime in some thoughts. So
No, I was going to just summarize the call, and I just was going to summarize the opportunities that we have in front of us, and go from there, and then I'll give it back to you. So yeah, guys, as we talked about, I think 4 or 5 items that we have, opportunities for us. We talked about kind of like recapping what we had discussed today. The first one is like subdomain / the folders. We have potential there about onboarding or landing page. That's one opportunity. Please think about it. And if you have anything to add or any other some way to kind of utilize that, please let us know and put forward in the chat or however you would like to let us know. The second item that we discussed about the unlock protocol, like Jason said, we did not have a lot of time to go through that. And the third item we talked about is the sorry, I'm kind of blanking right now. Anyway, so the POAP part that we discussed, especially there is an opportunity for us to, Jason pointed out, whenever somebody, it's not just for this thing, but I think moving forward, it would be a good idea to have, you can see that right there, he's pointing out, have a POAP issued right after the, coming back to the smart contract, Jason, just bear with me. POAP issue right after somebody votes, proposal, and then immediately they will be able to, claim a POAP, saying that, okay, token of appreciation, you did a good job, and here's your POAP, so you can do that. As well, that is a potential opportunity for somebody to, go ahead and do that. So I'm just listing out all those things. Apparently BitDAO is doing that, and Look at that right there. Jason is pointing out, as soon as you vote something, you will be able to climb that POAP. I think Jason was trying to say that as well. We should adapt or do the similar thing. So yeah, Jason already did it, and he got his POAP as well. So that's fantastic. Yeah, I think we should do the same thing. That would be a great idea. So that helps and motivates folks to go ahead and vote and participate in the governance. So yeah, as you can see, Jason already voted and he has his POAP client already. So right there. So that's what we're trying to do here as well. The other point that Jason pointed out, the unlock protocol, it is expired or it's not in compliance. So we need to upgrade that. So we will be having a separate call for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great summary.
I know, right? Good job.
And I was just adding, I noticed here, Dax, that the next actions didn't have this added as far as add the POAP plugin to Snapshot for the special edition REtoken relaunch POAP for the 31st December 2021 proposal for REtoken holders. And it's basically just like, hey, I participated in the REtoken relaunch, whatever, it's more of an arbitrary proposal so that we can give out a cool POAP using that. And again, like one of the things that we are working towards is improving the voter participation. Like right now, we have over 50 REtoken holders, and we only consistently have going over here on Boardroom. I think that we only consistently have like 6 to 10 voters. And like when you look at like we have 50 REtoken holders, and out of that, only 15 have ever voted in a snapshot proposal. And we definitely have plenty of opportunities. I mean, like going back to Snapshot, and this is very much a tangent from the conversation, but it's an immediate opportunity that people have. We'll be talking about this on the core team call tomorrow as well. But right now we have 8 proposals, and going to be doing some more here when I get caught up this weekend on the airdrops for this REtoken relaunch. I committed to the people here that have been participated that I would get caught up before firing off because there's going to be a rapid fire of multiple REtoken relaunch proposals coming soon. So make sure that you go vote on the proposals, because we're going to be having more incentives like the UMA KPI options. But we're already 7 minutes over. It's been an absolutely fabulous call. You did a wonderful job hosting today, Dax. Thank you so much for stepping up to do that.
You got to do it. And thank you everyone for your time and participating.
Yeah, great job.
Please take a thank you, Taylor. Please take a look at this card, Trello card, and see any one of the items that you're interested in. Please participate and let us know. And yeah, we'll go from there. And again, thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of the Saturday. And thank you, Jason and Taylor as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.